Welcome back, classy crew, to another Monster Hunter video. Today, it's not a journal. Now that we've gone through the Monster Hunter World Journey and Iceborne, it's time to judge all these monsters and rank them. HG Ranks. That's right, we are doing not a tier list, but a full-on rank list, ranking all the monsters from base world, at least all the monsters that fight back when you hunt them. I am not ranking the poor little cows that just run away from you when you whack them. There are 36 monsters in all in Monster Hunter World, and I have basically broken them down into 4 categories, but we're still going to rank them from number 36 all the way to number 1. And the categories range from pretty much trash, not memorable, or I just plain don't want to fight them. That's category 1. Category 2 is they're decent, memorable, and they're kind of quick to kill, so you know, I'm okay hunting them. And then we've got the memorable, fun, special crew. And then finally, we've got the top monsters at the upper echelon. Remember, this is only base Monster Hunter World, which means no Iceborne monster. That's for another video, because they add in like another 30 plus monsters in that game. So let's get, I have to say, this is my own subjective list. It by no means represent anything about the monsters. It's just my list. Most of your monsters are probably going to be at the bottom, and you're going to be sad, and you're going to want to hit the dislike button and enter angry comments. But remember, I'm an inexperienced hunter with less hours than you. I've probably fought your favorite monster once or twice as I kind of grinded my way to Fatalis. I have not learned how to fight all these monsters properly, and I only did it with the switch axe. So with all of that in mind, let's start hating on some monsters and making people hate this channel. Okay. Number 36, Ancient Leshen, because it's trash. It's a piece of wood, and it's still hard in Master Rank, and it shouldn't exist because it's trash. Do I need to share more about what's wrong with this monster? Because with 4 people Master Rank gear, it's simply trash. It should be burnt for kindling. Number 35, following close behind, Leshen. The only thing worse than Ancient Leshen is one with less adjectives. Leshen, also trash. Timber, burn it. I hate fighting that thing. Hate it. It's a terrible event quest. All right, now we're getting into some meaty things. Okay, I have to count like 36, 35, 34. Number 34, the Great Gyros. Or Gyros. I don't know how to say this. That thing sucks. It's always within a smoky cloud. Everything's poisoning you. It poisons you. And it can't even fight you hunter to monster. It always calls its crew and it's like, what's up? What you doing in my neighborhood? No thanks. You're on the bottom. Then we go 36, 35, 34, 33, Lavasiath. You're a fish. You're in the trash can. Then 30. Why can't I count? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 32, Geratotis. You're also a fish. You're in the trash, but you get a step above Lavasiath because of them thighs. No, it's because it was my first fish impression. It was my first fish monster, and so it holds a little bit more of a special place in my heart than the Lavasiath, which I'm like, I've seen enough fish in this game to know I don't like fish. And I also don't like eating fish. Fish just doesn't taste good in general. Anyways, next up, I'm losing track of numbers. Paolumu, no, it's just uninteresting. It's always in the air. It's a monster that's there to teach you about flash bombs, and once you have learned the lesson, you can just put that behind you and never have to fight it again, because my goodness, it's just a really uninteresting fight. You just deflate it and then you wail on it, and then it inflates, you deflate it and you wail. It's no fun. Next up, this one here, I'm going to get sent to the Shadow Realm. Dodogama. Yes, you're in my trash pile. Why? Sure, it's cute. You guys don't want me to fight it, so it fits in the category of I don't want to fight it. And it's just not memorable. The first time I saw it, it looked at me, everyone reacted, and we're like, oh, it's Dodo, it's so cute. I'm like, what's the big deal? And then he spit a rock at me. That is the entire experience of Dodogama to me. So you know what? I'm okay with you loving him. I'm not even going to go hunt him because he's in my disinterest pile. Next up, number 20-something, Tobi Kadachi. Kind of cool the first time I saw him. I don't want to fight him. He's just jumping everywhere. He's paralyzing me. He's not even that beautiful. There, I said it. He's not that beautiful. So Tobi Kadachi, you're in the bottom 20s. Above that, we've got Rattubon, because you know what? I kind of liked Rattubon when I first met him because you get to like take all the bones off of him. But the whole rolling around like Sonic is just not cool. You know, you want to beat up a monster. He's big, he's chunky. I like that. But then he just keeps rolling away. And then you pound on him some more, and then he starts wobble rolling, which is even more annoying. So he's kind of annoying to fight because of the roly-polies. Somewhere probably in the mid-20s now, as your Rathloes, and you're like, I don't know who agrees with this, but There are way better Rathloses out there, and this one is always in the air, and I am a hunter that is always on the ground. And therefore, an Azure Rathlos is a problem, and it is annoying because it is always in the air, and I cannot hit it as aggressively as I want. So you get position 20-something. Above him, you've got Uragan, aka the Big Chin. He's like Rattubon, but he's a little bit better because he's got a nice big chin. Rolling everywhere, bombing everywhere. No thanks. I can't get in there and get my satisfying wailing, as in the wailing, not like a whale. So no thanks to Uragan. And that is my trash tier, or my not memorable tier, or my does not want to fight. You interpret that however you want. Let's move on to category 3. Boxu! Do you guys know what this is?
That's Boxu content!
It's that, but it's also our sponsor for today's video. But more importantly, Boxu is an amazing box that comes from Japan every month. Now, if you know one thing about Hey Jay is he likes his snacks. In fact, he likes his snacks so much, I have my own separate snack channel called Hey Jay Eats, where I eat all the snacks. And in fact, you can find a video there in the coming days where I'm going to be eating all the contents of this box. But Boxu is a premium Japanese snack box that comes every month. If you're into trying new things, I really recommend getting this. I'm always one to like trying like mystery snacks, specifically snacks that taste good. And Japan is a land full of fantastic snacks. And what Boxu does is they grab snacks from all over Japan. They curate it into a theme so that you have a box that is thematic. This box specifically, for example, is the Prefecture Passion, which is focused a little bit more on showing off some traditional flavors across Japan. And within each box, there's no snacks here because I ate them. But in the book, you get like a beautiful, like full-on book that explains what every snack is. It also highlights if there are allergies or anything like that. So it's good if you have allergies or anyone in your house that has allergies. There are usually multiple types of snacks, so you can actually share with some friends. And what I like is at the end, you actually get a nice haiku, which teases the next box, which in this one, we are teased with snowy Hokkaido. Its treats savory and sweet. Hope you like the cold. I mean, I don't like the cold, but the cold never bothered me anyways. If you want to have your own Boxu box delivered to you, you can use my code HeyJ10, which gives you 10 full % off of your own Boxu order. You can just try it for a month to see if you like it. If you're like, you know what, that's not for me, cool. You cancel and you don't ask for it. Every month you get a different theme and you get new snacks. So you can confidently snack without getting bored because you're always getting new themes, new experiences, new insights from Japan, and new things to share with your friends and just go like, oh my God, that was amazing. I really wish I could get more of that. So if you want to check more of that out, I will put a link in the description below. Once again, that is Boxu. You can check it out at boxu.com. And don't forget to use HeyJ10. Forget to get that 10% discount. And never go hungry again on a hunt. Now let's get back to our top list. Now that we have full bellies and we know that our snack box is coming, let's keep going with number 25. We are now in the decent, memorable, or quick to kill fights. Going at 25, we've got Kulu Yaku, which this silly bird is just so memorable. The first time I saw him holding onto his egg or to his rock, he's adorable. I mean, he's not the best to fight, I have to admit, but he's memorable because he's a silly Kulu and he's quick to kill. So he goes on the list. You know what? I put 24 Puke, but I'm taking that back. Puke is getting demoted to 25, and Kulu Yaku's gonna go up to 24 because Kulu Yaku is way more cooler than Puke. Puke's got a disgusting tongue. He pukes on you, and he pukes out of his tail sometimes. That's just gross. So you belong at the bottom there. Above Kulu Yaku, we get Zora Magdaros, which I know the criticism, but memorable fight. I mean, he gets his own freaking cutscene. He gets his own battle. He gets a lot of his own stuff, and he's a key element to the plot. So I had to put Zora Magdaros just because you can't even think about Monster Hunter World without thinking of Zora Magdaros, whether you were like, whoa, that's cool, or oh man, that's lame. So Zora Magdaros, you are in at spot 23. Above him, we've got Val Hazak. Now, Val Hazak was memorable, but that effluvian business is not my kind of business. And as I've shared on this channel before, I am not into the undead sort of stuff. And Val Hazak screams boss straight out of Dark Souls. So you are memorable, but you are in my decent list. Actually, all the monsters from this point on are like in cozy like company. Above that, at spot 21, we've got Behemoth. I mean, he's not even part of this universe, so does he really belong on this list? But he was a super cool boss, really iconic for multiplayer, so pretty decent. He's kind of like in the middle of the road. What's the middle of 36 anyways? What is the middle of 36? Is it 13? No, it's not 13. 6, 8, 18. Okay, so he's not quite the middle. He's below the middle. Then we've got Zeno Jiva above that. Zeno Jiva was iconic being the boss of the game and all, but it was lacking a lot of stuff, which I think was corrected in Iceborne, and I heard also in the Tempered fight. By the way, I'm not talking about any of the Tempered fights here. I am talking about the base version of the monster. Zeno Jiva, you look cool, your music and your mechanics were a little bit lackluster, which puts you on the lower end of the list. Above him at number 19, we've got Pink Wrathion, the worst of the Wrathions, highly toxic girl. Don't deal with Pink Wrathion. She's not fun. Above her, we've got the Kushala Daora, I believe is what she's called. You know, I used to love Kushala a lot. I was like, is Kushala a male? I don't remember. Kushala was a great dragon and left a great first impression on me. It's actually Master Rank that destroyed Kushala for me because they started making all these tornadoes on themselves and stuff. And so while Kushala would have ranked higher traditionally on my list, it has been hammered down because all I remember now are tornadoes and being blown away by this thing, which is not fun. I want to be up in my monster and I want to be killing it. So above Kushala and ending our decent, memorable, quick segment of the list at number 17, we've got Kulfterath. She is a beauty, but she is not something I have an intimate personal relationship with because I only fought her in multiplayer and she was difficult. She was weird. I didn't like the whole timer mechanic. So that's why she goes into the decent. Definitely memorable, but decent, not great. And that caps off our decent section. Now we're going into these are the Hey J selects. These are the wonderful monsters from this section on. So we've got memorable, fun, or special to me. And we are starting at number 16. So these are I'm writing the number as I'm talking and recording. So this is the monsters that made my journey more special than all the other monsters. So starting at number 16, we've got the Great Jagras. How can you not like the Great Jagras? He's the first thing you see and he eats a cow in front of you. That's pretty cool and pretty intimidating. How do you want to intimidate someone? You grab a cow, you shove it in your mouth and you're like, you want to fight me now? I certainly did not, but I still did. Above him, we got Beros, which became actually very unmemorable later on, but I remember being scared of Beros and being like, oh my God, this thing's like a train and everybody's like, choo choo. Choo-choo, Hey Jay. Beros is coming through, and I loved that fight, and then I never went back and fought him, really. He kind of was left in Old World in Base World, after I moved on to Iceborne. Above Beros, we have the monster which I probably slayed the most at number 14, which is Tsitsi Yaku. I just love saying it, the Tsitsi. I called them... I forget. Actually, I don't even remember I actually call him by his proper name now. But I used to call him the sauce, the garlic sauce that you put on your gyro. Not the great gyro, but the sandwich, the roll. Tzatziki, that's it. He's pretty fun. I just love beating him up because he's so tiny. I don't like the whole flash, but he's pretty cool to beat up on. Above him, we got Rathloes because, hey, iconic monster, scared me a lot the first time I saw him. Really intimidated by him. The overcoming Rathloes was not as great as some of the other monsters on this list, but Rathloes definitely left the most scary impression on me right from the get-go. So Rathloes has a special place in my heart. Above that, we have Anginath, of course, because Anginath was the first scary thing that I had to fight that I overcame that gave me the adrenaline rush. We all know why Anginath's on this list. He was a lot of first walls for us. And for me, he was my first really special time, which made me fall in love with Monster Hunter. So how can I not put Anginath in the top half of my list? Unfortunately, he does not get the top 10. What is top 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, he did not make it top 10. He made it top 12. Above him is Basil Goose because of that squealing wail that he does when you actually slash him up. No, that's terrible. Basil Goose was just an amazing invader. The first time I saw him again, super terrified of him, and he gave me a whole rush. The fact that I almost killed him the first time I found him. Unfortunately, I did not experience Basil Goose the way he was intended to, which was fighting another monster and having him fly above you and bomb you. I really wish I got to experience that, but I didn't. So he'd probably be a lot higher on the list if that was the case. Above him, now we are in our top 10. And kicking us off, we got Devil Joe, the spicy pickle. Devil Joe was the legend. I think he was one of the last legends that I was hearing throughout my comment section that finally was revealed. And this Pickle was so scary, but when I fought him for the first time, I killed him, and I even got my first statue in my room in Iceborne, which was a gift from Gaijin Hunter. So the Pickle holds a special place in my heart. Above him, we've got Uragan, which was terrifying the first time I met him. He was so fast, but he had such a cool theme song playing as I was fighting him, and just what a rush fighting that dog. I thought for sure I was never going to get through it, but I think I got through him like after just a few fights, and that music just powered me up, and absolutely loved that fight. Now we're getting into even more memorable ones. We are now at number 8 with Black Diablos. We all know what Diablos did to me. Diablos humbled me, and so the Black Diablos is high up on my list, but I can't really talk about Black Diablos without mentioning Diablos, which has to go one step above Black Diablos at number 7. This thing was my first my first pretty big wall in low rank. Just destroyed me, taught me that my defense was not good, that my positioning was not good, just really revealed how bad I was, and just took all that cockiness I had and just rammed it into the ground and buried it with his cactus. And also, Diablos gave us this fantastic gem. It's the eye of the hunter, it's the chill of the blight, rising up to the challenge of our rival. Which I will not play for more than like 3 seconds, because I don't know how you guys who have watched this video on repeat can even do so. I can't even watch more than a minute of it. Above Diablos, I had to put my queen Wrathion, because I think she was the first monster I fell in love with, not because she's my queen, but because it's the first monster I think I learned the full moveset, and I was comfortable to actually read what she was doing. Wrathion always will have a special place in my heart. But above her, and this is the last for this category, I had to put Legiana, not because the Legiana fight is fun, not because the Legiana character or creature is interesting in any way, but because it's the Legiana fight that gave us the patented invasion sensation. And if it wasn't for this Legiana and that angle that I got and the visual that I got, we would not have had the invasion sensation. So if anything, I'm actually ranking Legiana's backside here for being so invasion sensationable. Thank you, Legiana, for making this meme and for also docking classiness points from my keep it classy persona. And now we're getting into our top 4 monsters. Did I count this right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yes, top 4. These are top monsters that I would love to fight any given time. I think they are just the peak of base Monster Hunter World. They are a treat to fight. They are memorable. They are special. They're just wonderful. Number 4, Kieran. Who doesn't like, I gotta be careful how I say that. Who doesn't like beating up on a pony? And Kieran really instills fear by being still this like minute little monster. But learning the fight with Kieran is very fun. And hey, if you're into some of the more exotic armor sets, Kieran's got you, male hunters, with some of them chaps. Number 3, how things have changed. Lunastra takes the number 3 spot, because Lunastra, I hated Lunastra the first time I fought her, but going back and learning how to fight her, she's got the amazing soundtrack. Just a really cool moveset, fairly punishing. I think I was just not experienced enough to appreciate Lunastra. But now I just love the challenge that she offers, how she looks, how threatening she is, how cool the music is. So Lunastra makes it to top 3. But she's not quite as good as her male counterpart Teostra, which has, I think, even cooler music, an even smoother flow, because he's a little bit easier than Lunastra, so therefore it's a smoother battle. But just an awesome fight overall with that music and that intensity of an Elder Dragon. And taking the number 1 spot, you've probably all guessed it at this point. What is the one monster I have not mentioned? It is, of course, Monster Hunter World's flagship monster, Nergigante. I was terrified of this thing. He really encapsulated what it means to be an intimidating monster. He's got a really crazy, like, cool theme song. And when you fight this thing, he is not holding back punches. He is not merciful. He is coming at you because you are getting in between him and his dish. and he doesn't care about you. He just wants you out of the way, and it's not even a dance. It's just this thing is just plowing through you, and you're either on the tracks or you're off the tracks. And if you're off the tracks are going to find you, and the train's still going to hit you. Nergigante was, I think, the best fight that I can keep going to for the best challenge in base Monster Hunter World. And I absolutely just had to put him at the top. So that is my controversial ranking of all the monsters in Monster Hunter World, in the base Monster Hunter World. Let me know which choice you think is absolutely wrong. Tell me why I'm trash. Tell me why I'm right. Tell me all the good and the bad and whatever you want to share in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you on the next ranking video where we rank Monster Hunter World Iceborne monsters. And until next time, classy crew, keep it classy. Do 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 do. Subscribe.